There'll be plenty of time to talk politics after the Olympics. Today, we're going to tell you how you can honor the greatest generation. I'm Charlie Sykes. Sunday Insight starts right now. Good morning and welcome to Sunday Insight. In the week that was, the nation is shocked by a senseless massacre in Colorado with the opening of the new Batman movie, at least for a day. The killing overshadowed the political rhetoric. For most of last week, liberals wanted to talk about Mitt Romney's tax returns. Conservatives focused on President Obama's comment that if you have a business, you didn't build that. A new CBS New York Times poll showed that the presidential race is still a dead heat. Romney 47, Obama 46%. We got some rain, but the drought was upgraded to severe. Coles decides to stay in Menominee Falls. A second Madison judge ruled against voter ID, but the state's attorney general promises an appeal. The Republican Senate race turns sharply negative. Now, see if you can follow this. The National Club for Growth, which backs former Congressman Mark Newman, attacked both Tommy Thompson and businessman Eric Hovde. Hovde attacked Newman and Thompson. Thompson attacked Hovde and Newman. The fourth Republican is Speaker Jeff Fitzgerald, who didn't attack anybody. They're vying for a chance to take on Democrat Tammy Baldwin, who's probably enjoying the show. But enough politics. Now, normally we devote our show to discussing current events and political controversies. But this morning I wanted to do something different. For the last 2 years, this community has been rallying around a program known as the Honor Flights, a program with a mission to send World War II veterans to see their memorial in Washington, D.C. Time has never been on our side. Every day, hundreds of the veterans pass away, so there's been a sense of urgency. The greatest generation, the generation that survived the Great Depression and went on to liberate Europe and defeat the Japanese, won't be with us that much longer. In 2010, we launched something called Operation Resolve, a campaign to get every last veteran to D.C. The campaign has grown to the point where thousands of people show up at Mitchell International Airport to greet the returning veterans every time one of the flights returns. Last month, Stars and Stripes Honor Flight announced that it had flown more than 2,000 World War II veterans to Washington. But they're not done yet. Some veterans are too frail for the flights, others couldn't make it for a variety of reasons. So on August 11th, the culmination of the Honor Flight program, the setting, Miller Park, where as many as 30,000 of you will give these guys the ultimate welcome home, complete with flyovers, appearances by the Navy SEALs, fireworks, and the centerpiece of it all, the world premiere of the documentary Honor Flight by producer Dan Hayes and Freethink Media. The movie will be shown on Miller Park's giant high-definition screen. And here's the trailer for the movie, premiering here on August 11th.
My philosophy is I'm not afraid of death. Death doesn't scare me. What scares hell out of me is how I gotta live.
Once you've been in combat with people, you have a affinity for life with those people. It never goes away.
One day we sent out 34 planes, only 5 of them returned. There were 5 men on each plane. And that's why I haven't talked about it. This is the first time I've ever talked about it.
There's only a few of them left, but the ones that are alive, I have a very strong bond with them.
Back in January of 2010, when we announced that we were going to launch Operation Resolve, that we were going to try to get as many World War II veterans as possible to visit their memorial in Washington, D.C.
We fly World War II veterans to see their memorial at no cost to them.
It was like I won the lottery.
And there was a real sense of urgency about that because the clock was running. This community came together in one of the most extraordinary things that I have ever been part of, whether it was church groups or civics groups or veterans groups, kids groups, schools, raise the money to get as many World War II veterans as possible to visit their memorial in Washington, D.C.
visit starsandstripeshonorflight.org.
Well, I feel like a king.
When we come back, more on the Field of Honor, and we'll be joined by the World War II veteran who gave the honor flight its slogan, "Every day is a bonus." On August 11th, Milwaukee will once again be able to host the Thank You for the Greatest Generation, the stadium-sized celebration of the men and women who saved the free world, and one of them is Joe Demler. This is Joe, in March of 1945, a prisoner of war, dubbed the human skeleton after this picture appeared in Life magazine. The man next to him died a few days later. Now, Joe's still with us, and he doesn't take anything for granted. Every honor flight shirt has the slogan, "Every day is a bonus." And that was you, Joe Demler, who greeted us. So, Joe, first of all, thanks for your service. Thanks for joining us. But tell me about the slogan, "Every day is a bonus."
Well, every day is a bonus, because if you ever get to your time in life where your days are numbered, when they told me that my time would be up if I would make 3 days, yet I would be lucky. And that's where I can, the idea that if every day that I live beyond that is a bonus. And the doctors told me that after I was liberated and I was in the Army hospital that
3 more days.
That my life would begin again. I was born again, and for that why that, but it's a bonus, and that's why I take every day for what it gives me. Everything that I all that I can do and try to get the most out of every day that I live.
Now, Joe, you've been on 3 of these honor flights, and of course you're going to be there at Miller Park on August 11th. What does this mean to the veterans, your fellow veterans, who are going on these honor flights and who are getting this belated thank you? Okay,
every veteran that's been on this flight is a hero. Everybody had a job, and if you had to have 7 men behind the one that's in the front line, and everyone had an important part in this, and all together, as important as they were, and everybody was a hero, and
well, you know, a lot of the guys that I talk to say, well, you know, I wasn't in combat. I wasn't one of those guys. And I think that's one of the messages that we try to convey to them, that every single person who served contributed, and this is for all of you.
Right, that's right. And this is your day, and because as most of us, our life is passing by and as before we go off into the sunset, this people are showing appreciate what we've done for them. The whole world changed, not only in the United States, but worldwide. Just changed the whole atmosphere of the world.
Did you ever have a period where you thought in the years after World War II that maybe the world had forgotten you guys? That maybe that time had passed?
No, I don't know if the world forgot about us completely, but there's a lot of times that people took everything for granted. People didn't care, you know. So we were lucky.
Are you looking forward to the event on August 11th?
Oh, sure. That's going to be another one of the days for the veteran to celebrate, because when people were discharged from the Army, people came. The veteran came from all different places. Some came from Florida, California, Milwaukee. But when they were discharged, and nobody had got this honor. They came back.
Yeah, we all thought you had the big parades and everything, and in fact, most of you guys just went on with your lives the next day.
Right. You got married, or they went to school, and that's it. You know.
Well, you've waited a long time, and you're finally going to get that welcome home. Now, by the way, Joe is one of the veterans featured in the documentary movie that will premiere at the Field of Honor on August 11th. Now, the honor flights are all about stories. When we come back, more of the stories of honor flight. Most of them are in their 80s or their 90s, but 70 years ago, when they went across the Atlantic or the Pacific, many of them were 18 or 19-year-old boys. There were well over 1 million Americans under arms in World War II. Today, only a few of them are left. So the honor flights have been a race against time. It's also been a chance for younger generations to connect with the greatest generation. At the August 11th Field of Honor, the documentary on the Stars and Stripes Honor Flight program will feature some of their stories, and here's one of them.
Name's Ryan Jazak. I'm involved in being a guardian on honor flight. My great-grandpa was in World War I, another grandpa was in Korea, and another grandpa was in World War II, and my brother's currently serving in Afghanistan. I felt I needed to do this to show my support and thanks to these guys.
It's a volunteer that's willing to pay $500 to have the pleasure of escorting World War II veteran on this trip to make sure that they have a safe and enjoyable trip.
Just happened to post on Facebook that I got selected to go on an honor flight, and we're going to have a hard time coming up with the money to pay my way. And one friend posted on there, she said, well, I got 25 bucks coming your way, and checks just started rolling in from friends of mine on Facebook saying they wanted to help, they wanted to be part of it. My brother checked in from Afghanistan, mentioned that he wanted to be part of it too, so he sent me a pretty large amount of money.
To be a guardian it's kind of special. We need to get them all there to see what we built for them in memory of what they did for our country, did for the world.
He was like welded to my hip for this whole voyage to Washington. Every time I turned around, he was trying to do something nice for me, and so it was just a great thing to have him. It was unbelievable.
You can see from the emotion in their face that it's something special, and I believe it means a lot to them.
The welcome we got coming home, it was just mind-boggling. The reception we got was just amazing.
Now, joining me this morning are two of the people behind the honor flights, Joe Dean and Renee Rilla. Thanks so much for joining me. Now, Joe, first of all, tell me about what was the idea behind Field of Honor? After all of the flights, why Field of Honor?
Well, this became so deeply personal for all of us. You get to know these veterans as you have, and we thought, how can we bring this honor flight experience back to the community and back to all of our veterans? So it's a celebration of what we've done, but it's also for those veterans who are too frail to fly with us. So we're going to have a model of the World War II memorial there, particularly for those veterans who are too frail to fly. But also, Charlie, we just want once and for all to bring this community together. We're hoping for 30,000 people. That would be a sellout. And just show the respect and love that this community has for the veterans. I mean, there is no earthly way to thank our veteran population for what they've done, veterans past and present. But we're going to try as hard as we can.
One of the difficulties of explaining this is it's like nothing else. It's not like anything else. I don't know of any other event in the entire country over the last 50 years that's been quite like this. So, Renee, what can people expect? If they go on August 11th to Miller Park, what are they going to expect?
Well, you're right. It is hard to know exactly what to expect, but anyone who's been at one of our 14 homecomings, we've done 14 flights so far in Milwaukee, might have a glimpse of it. Because we always say honor flight really isn't about the trip to Washington. It's about the whole experience, the thank you, and the coming home. There is an overwhelming love and support that comes to life for those veterans at that airport. So now imagine those 6,000 or 7,000 people who are at the airport, now expanded to 30,000 people at Miller Park. It's going to be incredible. But the day, you know, it's going to start, it's going to be fun. The parking lot opens at 3:30. Come tailgate with your favorite veteran. The stadium doors will open at 4:30. We have the Pillars of Honor, which is a scale model of the World War II memorial that will be on display before it goes to the Smithsonian. We also have a replica of the Kissing statue, which is a statue based on that iconic Times Square photo of the sailor kissing facing the nurse in Times Square. We have a replica of the Wisconsin pillar, 17 feet tall, that will be outside Miller Park, and veterans can get their picture taken with the replica of the pillar. But then the program starts at 6:30, and it's going to be exciting, full of surprises and special guests. We're going to have the Navy frogs literally skydiving into the middle of Miller Park. We are going to have flyovers, and then the culmination will be at 7 o'clock, the movie Honor Flight, the documentary, which we really see as a meditation on freedom.
On a really big screen. and you know, Joe, the once-in-a-generation opportunity is to see that movie in the presence of the veterans themselves.
That's exactly right. Yeah. We say this is the event of a generation, and we mean it, Charlie. I mean, you're going to be sitting there seeing this extraordinary film, and I've seen the near final cut of it up on the high-def scoreboard. And you'll be sitting amongst the heroes who 70 years ago were teenagers when this nation so desperately needed their courage. And there they are sitting in the audience with us as we watch a movie about them. I think it's going to be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
You know, a week ago today, we were all at Miller Park. Joe Demler was there as well. And they showed 4 of the World War II veterans up on the screen in the middle of the game. And people are wandering around, milling around. And when people realized that they were there, the applause started rippling around Miller Park. And then they got a standing ovation from the crowd. And you made a comment afterwards, you know, this has really touched a nerve. What is it about this moment in history? Because I don't think this would have happened 10, 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah, Charlie, I think that people have realized there's kind of this confluence of patriotism and sense of urgency. We have these veterans are dying at 900 a day, 1 every 90 seconds, and I think people are realizing that we're running out of time.
Okay, now when we come back, more on the Field of Honor and how you can be a part of it. Okay, Joe and Renee, very quickly. How do people go about getting tickets? There are still some tickets available. You've sold more than 23,000 tickets. How do people go about getting tickets?
We do, and we're hoping for a sellout. So you can go to the Brewers ticket office. You can access that through our website, starsandstripeshonorflight.org. Click on Field of Honor, or you can call 902-4000, and that takes you right to the Brewers ticket office, and they'll hook you up.
Okay, 902-4000, and your goal is to fill up every one of those seats.
Because of the configuration for the movie, 30,000 is a sellout. That's our goal. We're hoping this community steps up. This is ridiculously humbling for all of us, and it's the community's chance to thank these veterans, and we're hoping they come out in a big way.
It is going to be extraordinary. And finally, if you can make it on August 11th, you'll hear a talented young singer from Wauwatosa named Grace Weber singing for the veterans.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountains, majesty above the fruited plain. America, oh America, God shed His grace on thee, ooh, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea.
Thanks for watching this morning. And for all of you vets out there, thank you for all of your service. It is called Field of Honor, August 11th, Miller Park. Hope to see you there.